Hello there, fellow captains. This is Connor, and welcome back to another Fractured Space ship overview. And in the previous overview, where I believe it was the Leviathan, I created a poll asking what Zarek ship you would like to see. You had the option of a few Zarek ships. The two I mainly remember, apart from the one chosen, was the Gladiator and the Overseer. Two really powerful ships in the game, not just for their faction, but in the game in general. I mean, I think the Gladiator could be, or is, the most powerful ship in the game, at least when trying to hold its own and deal out damage at the same time. But anyway, you guys didn't vote for either of these two godly beings. No, you voted for the Infiltrator, the cloaked ship on the Zarek side of things. And I can kind of see why. It's a bit of an interesting ship. I never played it a great deal, although I did play it. But I'm kind of curious as to why those of you who picked it, because it's not really a great ship. Out of the 4 cloaked ships that are available in Fractured Space, this one has never been, I would say, comparable to the other 3, in that it's just not very good, and that comes down to its abilities that it has available to it. But anyway, as we usually start off, I'll just start by saying thank you very much for getting this far. If you want to jump straight to the action on the battle, then there will be a comment in the comment section below with a little timestamp to jump straight ahead to the battle. But for those of you who want to stick around, now we'll go over how the ship looks visually, and it's Zarek. It's very Zarek. It looks kind of thrown together. A lot of paneling on top of what looks to be scaffolding, although it's not scaffolding. It's just the, let's say, a skeleton of the ship, but it looks like a Zarek ship. I mean, if I go to the Hunter, I mean, the bridge is exactly the same. If I go to the Gladiator, the bridge is the same. In fact, they're the same size. They are. Interesting. But Zarek is a mining and construction corporation. They're very industrial, so they'll mine asteroids like this kind of starbase is surrounded by, and they'll also create the structures that are below us. That's what Zarek do. And I kind of have linked one of the weapon system that this ship uses to its roots as a Zarek ship. But we'll get into that in a moment. But yeah, it's a Zarek ship. It looks very basic. It doesn't look heavily armoured, but the Zarek ships never were that heavily armoured to begin with. They were fast and they could deal a lot of damage. But, well, I suppose the Gladiator can take a pounding. But for the rest of the roster, not so much. But it looks nice. I like the cloaking drive kind of off-center of the hull here. It's quite large. They have to be. I mean, if I look at the Ghost, I'm not entirely sure, but I believe this structure at the very front, kind of cylindrical with the phantom skin, but if I go to just the default, USR default, it's kind of spherical. You can see that same bluish glow there. So I like to believe that that's the cloaking drive, which kind of makes sense because this thing is not on any of the other Zarek ships, and the skins available are, well, kind of basic, honestly. There's nothing there that really changes how the ship looks, but still nice to change up the color scheme now and again. I mean, I do really like the Red October ones, mainly because Zarek are supposed to be like a communist Russia type faction or themed around that. So it kind of makes sense. But anyway, let's get into the loadout. I mean, sorry, before I go into that, in comparison with the other cloaked ships available, the only thing the Infiltrator has on them, in these little stop bars, is that it has a slight increase in survivability, which it doesn't really matter anyway. It's a cloaked ship. If this thing is in extended combat, it's going to die because it's not designed to work like that. Although this one seems really confusing in how it was put together anyway. But yeah, that's all it has. I would have expected it to have been faster, but no, even the Ghost is faster than it. And that's what Zarek boast for their ship's speed and firepower. But anyway, on to the loadout. So, the most impressive thing on this ship that I do like is the Slug Thrower. Now you've got 3 variations, but we'll just go off the stats here on the base Slug Thrower. Let me see. Sorry if you heard that. I'm just trying to rearrange my headphones, kind of pushing my glasses into my skull, and it's pretty painful. Let me see. Max range 12,000 meters. So they do have a fair distance to them, but the optimum range, which is what you're really looking for here, is 3,000 meters. So really close quarters. Fires a volley of 2. There's the damage. The refire delay is 0.25. The base cooldown is 0.25. So the Slug Thrower, or the base Slug Thrower as it is here, is the fastest firing out of the 3. Now the next one, which is the one I've got selected here, same range, same volley, same damage, only it, you know, the refire rate is different there. Is it faster? I think it is. Only there's a longer cooldown. Burst Slug Thrower fires multiple shells concurrently, boasting higher accuracy and maximized damage potential, but becoming harder to lead targets. And that's one thing I find a lot easier in Fractured Space over Dreadnought, is that it's a lot easier to lead targets. Now that's not necessarily because targets are further away in Dreadnought, no. Because if I'm playing like the Destroyer, for instance, which is a heavily armed ship, it's one of the larger heavy ships in the game, its guns are forward, medium to long ranges, but enemy ships in this game, I've noticed, can be faster just off the bat without having to use any sort of boost or anything, thrust. They can just be generally faster. I wouldn't know the exact speed because it doesn't give you their exact speeds in either game. I don't believe so, at least I've even checked into the files, I'm not sure, but it's easier to lead shots in this game, is what I'm basically trying to say. It's probably just because Dreadnought isn't as well optimized, and there's a lot more going on visually. You've got an entire map, you've got ground, you've got trees, buildings, whereas in this game, the majority of the time, it's just asteroids and a few stations lingering about, which isn't a bad thing. I'm not saying that it is, it's just maybe one's better or more optimized over the other. Lastly, we have the Mass Slug Thrower, which would be the one I would choose to go with the majority of the time, but over the past few games I've played, I'm going with the Burst Slug Thrower because I have been using the Mass Slug Thrower, and it's not bad. I just want to really change things up for the video. Mass Slug Thrower combined its damage into 2 shells for improved alpha damage, featuring greater accuracy at the expense of fire rate. So, that's it. Now, the more interesting and annoying abilities are from here on down. Mainly, the Ion Blast, which works in concert with the Ion Drones. Excuse me, I'm still recovering from I don't know what it is, but I have had like a weird bug or illness for the past 3 weeks, where 1 week my throat will be really sore and it'll be hard to speak. The next week my head is really killing me, and then the following week, which is now, I feel really nauseous all the time, and I don't know what it is, but I'll have to actually make an appointment with my doctor to see what it is, but I don't hope it's not serious. But Ion Blast, max range 6,000 meters, area of effect radius 5,000 meters, base damage 393. Ion damage is 945, I believe. The ion damage is what damage the drones do over the length of their lifespan. I'm not sure actually. The information on these has been pretty iffy now and again. It just doesn't really explain what some of the stats, what the numbers are actually for, or what they're in concordance with. But you'll see there that 0.5, or sorry, per every ion charge, you'll do 393 damage. And you can get 5 charges from the ion drones maximum, so they're pretty much add like a little damage over time or a tick to the enemy ship that you've selected the ion drones to go and harass. And the maximum damage, if I have added all this up right, which I probably haven't, is 3,303, which is nothing to be snuffed at. It's a pretty decent damage, but it's not enough. It just isn't enough. The Cloak will ignore. I mean, everyone knows that a Cloak is. Cloak turns the Infiltrator invisible, whilst active, energy is depleted on movement, so as long as you're immobile, your energy will not drain, unless, of course, you've already drained it prior to that. But, yeah, that just doesn't really need to be there. In fact, it should be at the bottom. It's a little bit confusing having it in the middle. We'll do Disarm Pulse, because I really want to get into more on the Ion Drone and the Ion Blast, honestly. Disarm Pulse, area of effect radius 6,000 meters, which isn't bad. Base cooldown is 60 seconds, and the disarm duration is only 5. So Disarm Pulse emits a pulse that disables the weapons of all enemies within its AoE, which is nice, but it only does it for 5 seconds. Now the 5 seconds thing isn't really something to worry about. It's the cooldown of 60 fucking seconds. Now in this game you don't tend to notice cooldowns as much because there's a lot more going on. There's a lot more gunnery duels and firing at range, trying to outmaneuver your enemies, trying to outthink them, outmaneuver them, outgun them, everything in this. But yeah, the other option you get to choose with here, and I'm going to call this utility slot, is the ability disable pulse. Now the ability disable is more anything that is mobility linked. So as it says there, repairs, blinks, and boosts. So anything that can really get you out of combat or away from the infiltrator has been disabled here. But look, the base cooldown is 20 seconds less at 40 seconds, and the duration is up by 3 seconds from 5 to 8. I don't understand. It would have made more sense for maybe the cooldown on this to be 45 to 50 seconds, whereas that's fine. I would never use the ability disable because I would tend to want or need to know what I'm going in against prior to the match to pick this. It's just a safer option overall going with the disarm pulse because, well, it can save you. It can literally save your ship. But yeah, now that those two are out of the way, ion drones, and why the ion drones and ion blast are a bad couple. Why they're a bad pair. So the infiltrator is a cloaked ship. You know what? Actually, there's the info there on it. So I should better. It would be better if I read that out now, just so you can get a general idea of what Edgecase think of the infiltrator and how it should be played, and then I'll get into why the what they call again, ion drones are terrible as well as the ion blast. The Zarek stealth attack ship is very different to its USR cousin. Instead of high alpha damage, the infiltrator uses its cloak to sneak behind enemy lines. It then uses ion drones to prepare targets for its ion blast, which delivers an AoE attack that causes damage to enemies that have been marked by its drones. Like any stealth ship, the infiltrator must escape after delivering its payload. Without a blink or boost to use, the infiltrator fires a disarm AoE that allows it to slip back into cloak and escape. Right. Now, I've tried to record this overview about 5 or 6 times, and each time I keep coming into more things I dislike about how this ship plays compared to the Ghost, the Basilisk, or the what is Basilisk, Ghost, and my brain just died there. But the whole point of the infiltrator is, like it says there, go behind enemy lines, harass enemies, blah blah blah, take them by the element of surprise. But you have to decloak to deploy the ion drones. And that's not too bad. You can wait 5 seconds for the cloak to cool down and then re-engage your cloak. But, now the big but here, the massive chunky but, is that any enemy that you have deployed your ion drones against knows 100% that there is an infiltrator close by that is waiting for a certain amount of damage or a certain amount of stacks to build up on their ship, and then the infiltrator will appear. So basically, they know you're there. Now that is against fundamentally what a cloaked ship is all about. That's not a thing with the Basilisk. It's not a thing with the Ghost. Why have I forgotten what the third one is? I can't believe I forgot that. But you see what I'm saying? The element of surprise is just completely gone once you deploy your ion drones, and you need those ion drones to be able to deal any decent amount of damage. I mean, your slug throwers are nice, and the more power or points you put into level ups you put into attack, the better it becomes. But again, the element of surprise is completely lost. So let's say you're looking to harass one of the support ships on the enemy team, and let's say the enemy team also has a pioneer. Now, it might be a long shot, but it doesn't really need to be a pioneer. I'm just using a pioneer as an example because a pioneer can decloak cloaked ships close by, which means this thing is useless. So you're attacking a protector, or even let's say a superlifter. Don't know why I would switch it up to a superlifter, but let's say you're attacking a superlifter and you've deployed your ion drones. You recloak, and now the ion drones are attacking the enemy ship and applying your little damage buffs, so your ion blast will do more damage. Well, the superlifter is going to know you're there. The superlifter is either going to pull back, tell his ally that something's going on, or if the ally has any sort of common sense, they'll notice that there are ion drones on his UI, on the screen, attacking his ally, so he's going to hold back from moving forward and wait until the infiltrator has to show himself. Now, you don't 100% have to show yourself, but see the open window open window for you to use the ×5 damage buff on the Ion Blast, that window is very, very small. So either you do reveal yourself to deploy the Ion Blast, deal a big chunk of damage to the Super Lifter, possibly even take it down with the rest of its health with your Slug Thrower, and then try and recloak. Use the disarm pulse and then recloak. That's not going to happen as well as you plan it to happen. Even against bots, it's very sketchy on whether or not it works. Basically, it's a cloaked ship. The element of surprise is supposed to be your main weapon, and your best chance at getting a kill in this, or even just supporting your team in general by backcapping. But ion drones just gives you away instantly, and if you don't use them, the damage is minimal. It's measly. So I could rant on more about it, but I suppose it would be better showing you guys in game how it actually works, which is not well. And what I have to actually, before that, I just want to see what the other cloak ship was. I'm trying to think if I can remember it. Black Widow, that was it, the missile baby. I love the Black Widow. It was underpowered as fuck at one time, but then I think I got a nice buff. I think it was harder to take down the missiles. Initially, you could just take down the missiles pretty easily with your point defense, but then they made them have a bit more health, I think. I can't believe I forgot you, my baby. I can't believe it. I'll never forget you again. Never. If you were like a Widowmaker, you'd have that big chunk. Oh, you do have a chunky aft. Oh, damn. Okay. Maybe the Black Widow will be next. I mean, I've already done one of the cloak ships. But let's get ourselves into the game and see what happens. Okay, here we are. Let's see what the enemy have in their loadout. Oh, they have a Pioneer. Okay, so I'm going to have to keep my eyes open for that, lest it discover me in a most inopportune time. Hunter, Superlifter, Brawler, and Colossus in our team. Okay, sweet. Now, where did everyone go? You know, just to break the mold. Hold on. See what's where. Okay, so the Pioneer is in beta, so I'm going to go to alpha. Now, they are outnumbered in the beta lane, but still, we should have a easier time of it. So there's the enemy Superlifter, which I'm going to deploy. Where did he go? Or was it taken out? I don't think so. There, okay. Enemy Superlifter targeted. We're going to send our ion drones, because if I send them on a cloak ship, and bots attempt to cloak constantly, it'll just keep breaking the lock on them, which is really irritating. So I'm just going to fire on a Black Widow there to lend some support. Okay, how many stacks have we got? 4. One more and we'll be good. There we go. So there goes the Ion Blast. And there goes the damage. So you can see the damage is quite chunky, but this is the bot that's flying into some sort of space pillar. So the brain really isn't there. Anyway, let's capture this station. But it barely cloaked so far. And that's because, well, it's not as enjoyable to cloak against bots, even though it's an integral way in how these ships are supposed to play. Oh, okay, that was a good time to cloak, actually. Black Widow and a Colossus. Now, where is the Colossus going? I can just linger here. In fact, you know what? I can't, because if they try and capture that... Okay, Colossus is moving off. Black Widow hasn't cloaked yet. It'll probably cloak as soon as it sees or one of my allies. As soon as it spots an enemy, it'll cloak. But then it doesn't really work. Pointless in even saying. I heard about some private servers that were up, so I joined the Fractured Space server, or I was given a link to it. And I joined, and I'm hoping to hopefully see if there's a way I can play with some folks. Hoping I keep all my progress as well, by the way. Damn. Okay, I'm just going to back cap their forward operating base, just as a kind of distraction. Stop them from pushing down our lane. And then once I capture it and heal up... Oh god, he's got fighters on me. Okay, that's not good. Okay, I'm going to get out of here and then I'm going to recloak. Disarm pulse enabled. There we go, cloaked. Now that Colossus is going to jump to Gamma any second now. So I'm just wondering about what I want to do. Because in Gamma, I'm not really going to be much of a help. I mean, obviously I'll be a help. I can assist in taking down enemies and stuff, but I'd rather capture this, level up, and then just keep pushing against the enemy team. Look, that Colossus is focusing on another one of my allies. The Brawler up there. Oh, it's fighting the Black Widow, okay. Well, he has low HP, but he should be able to finish that Black Widow off easily. There we go, we've captured it. Now we'll put our first attack point into B. And we'll level up, or heal up even. Right, so we've lost Gamma. Oh yeah, look, okay, so the Brawler is doing fairly well against... Ah, there we go, awesome, but I think the explosion may take down him. Yep, there he goes. Well, let's see, let's just... For the sake of science, let's attack this Colossus. You see, to deploy them, I had to drop my cloak. And now I have to wait for the cloaking drive to be ready to enable again. Oh shit, okay, they've got a... Oh, okay, Pioneers here, great. That's literally the last thing I wanted. Come on. There we go. Do some damage to him, not much, but at this point any damage is nice. Now it's time to pull back. A lot of activity here. Oh shit, okay, that Pioneer's just decloaked me. Oh, that's not good. My energy is... No, it was my energy actually, was it? That depleted. Whatever is going on, it's not good. I'm out of energy. And I'm down. See what I mean? Dropping your cloak to fire off those ion drones is never good. Even though they do have the ion... Something I never mentioned was the ion drones do have a pretty long deployment range. It's still not good to reveal yourself like that. And again, even while they're deployed, they know who they're going to... Whoever the ion drones are deployed against, they know you're going to attack them at some point. And it's going to be soon, because as soon as you get that 5 stacks on you, I'm not sure if you can see that as the person targeted, but regardless, you still know that within the next minute, you're going to be attacked by an Infiltrator, which is never good. I'm going to have to go here and defend Alpha. Luckily, our team are also pushing against their forward operating base, which is good. Oh, shit, okay. Now, the damage there from the Slug Thrower is minimal. So this thing is really a lame duck, because I enjoy the other 3 cloaked ships quite a bit. In fact, I really like the Basilisk and the Black Widow. Okay, we've captured it. Let's get in there and defend. We're both level 5, although we're a little bit ahead of them. Okay, ion drones deployed against him. Two stacks. 3 stacks. Come on, there we go. That was a lot of damage against the Colossus, actually. Awesome. Continue pushing down the alpha lane here. So this just doesn't even feel like a cloaked ship to me. It's more of a... The way I look at it is it's more meant, and this is probably the way it was meant to be played, is once you've done your damage, then you just use Cloak to get out of there. But the cooldowns, apart from the disarm, really aren't that lengthy, so it's a bit confusing, honestly. That's probably why there's only 4 cloak ships in the game, because they are probably very hard to design. Especially the abilities that work in concert with each other. Like the Basilisk, it has its pulls and stuff, or it's like its wormhole ability. The Ghost basically just gets a damage buff and then fires rockets at the enemy. What is the... yeah, on the Black Widow really just fires missiles. Some missiles increase damage done, others tear armor apart. But really they just fire like 3 types of missiles, if I remember right. Okay, it's 1 minute to gamma, so I'm going to pull in right on top of their gamma point. Right on target. He's going to be our target. Oh, maybe not actually. Okay, come on. So ion drones are deployed against the superlifter here. And I'm just hitting them with our... okay, I'm being hit hard by something. Come on. There we go, awesome. I think it was that Black Widow that, or the Colossus maybe, that just wrecked me there. Whatever it is, we need to start taking down these enemy ships. There's so many of them. Hold on. Right, let's go for... just deploying the Ion Blast now because it's something to do damage. My Ion drones are still on cooldown, so by the time they're ready... No, this isn't good. This is not a good situation to be in. And my Cloak's been disabled. Gonna mass disarm. There we go, we got Gamma at least. Come on, turn. Oh, that was so close. Oh, that was insanely close there. Okay, let's pull back to Alpha. Let them just fight amongst themselves. Level 7, we've got a level to pick up. And then I'll push forward into Alpha and try and take their FOB, jump into their base and start trying to take out some of those turret generators. Come on. Usually in Fractured Space, I enjoy every ship for what it is. Even the Pioneer, which I used to joke about hating. It has its uses. But this thing just feels completely underwhelming for me. And there are probably people out there that really enjoy it. And I've probably at one point, but it was so long ago, seen people do really well in it. In fact, it's very close to level 8. So I might as well hang about here without going down there and missing a level. I could have picked it up at their station, but maybe by the time I get to their FOB, I'll have picked up a level 9. Oh, something just jumped in here. Is it the Colossus? It is. Look at all those fighters swarming around it. Telltale sign that it's a Colossus. Just look for the blue glow. Oh, shit. Pioneer as well. But it's mainly the fact that if I drop my Ion drones, I'm screwed from that point onward. Unless I've got allied support, I'm pretty much screwed. And I like to play cloaked ships because sometimes I like to be the lone wolf. Not that I'm not working with my team, but I can work alone to assist the team. So I can come back to here where the enemy ships spawn in, and I can start taking them out as they jump in alone. Recloak, do the same over and over again. Whenever the enemy team have a concerted effort of pushing down through the lane to try and take our point, I can cloak, come up to their point and start capturing it, which distracts them and forces maybe a couple of them to pull back to recapture their FOB, which leaves it open for our team to retake our positions. Whereas in this thing, I just, like, it it's like an old man ship. It takes too long to do everything. Okay, there we go. That's long enough, I feel. And as soon as... Okay, that's annoying. Wait, is that an enforcer? Oh, it fucking is. Shit, okay. It's another Zarek ship, only this ship is a fucking beast. Come on. Oh shit, okay. It's got 3 stacks, I think. Yep, 3 stacks, 4 stacks. Come on with the 5, please. If this was the player, I'd be dead. I can actually kill him. I can kill him, but who's with him there? Is that the Black Widow? Oh, there's a super lifter, okay, but I saw missiles. Oh shit, okay, so where are they jumping to? Oh, okay, we've been into their enemy base on the other lane. Good. So I'll capture this, I'll heal up, and then I'll jump into assist from the rear. And hopefully... I was about to say hopefully that allied ship there, what is it, the Colossus, he will push forward and try and capture those 2 mining stations, but maybe a little bit too much to wish for. So now what I'm going to do is, I mean, they outnumber my allies. I know they don't actually, there's 3 there. Okay, so the Colossus must have jumped in. Yeah, he did, because he's spawning from the point closest to this station. Okay, deploying ion drones against the Colossus, or no, the Pioneer, sorry, isn't it? See, things get a bit clustered here with the UI, which is one thing I really didn't like about Fractured Space, is that sometimes there's a bit too much going on screen. But when you play it enough, you do start to realise, and you're able to differentiate between what is important and what isn't. But it is still a bit clustered. Okay, now because the ion drones act as pretty much a squadron, I can redeploy them against the Colossus if I want. Which I'm going to do. If I can get another 2 stacks, that will be very good. Oh shit, okay. There we go. Ion Blast deployed. It's not going to be any sort of decent damage though. Not against what level is it? A level 8, level 9. Yeah, it's a level 8 Colossus. No. If it's put any points into defense, yeah, my Ion Blast becomes merely a tickle. But I wouldn't give to be playing the Black Widow right now. Even just visually for those salvos upon salvos of missiles. Waves of missiles, it's so cool. Oh, look at that. Is that a hunter? Yeah, it's look at that hunter sporting the Black Edition skin. It's so good. What do we got? 20 seconds. Always a long wait with the respawn in Fractured Space. Makes you think more with how you want to spend your time alive. Be more careful and cautious. Work as a team more, otherwise you won't have to sit for about a minute waiting to respawn, which is never something anybody wants to do. That's another point in B. Yeah, let's go. Okay, they're pushing into our base, and they've already captured about 50%. 45% says there. Okay. One of our numbers dead. Oh shit, okay. Well played to the enemy team. Oh well. That's the Infiltrator. It's a Zarek ship. Not really much else I want to say about it. I'm not really sure what would improve it if it kept the same abilities, you know, buffing them in some ways. I really don't know. I don't like the ion drones. It's an interesting... Maybe if you could stay cloaked while deploying them. But at the same time, the enemy's still going to know you're there because the ion drones have been deployed against you. And it's basically just a waste of time to deploy the ion drones against a target you're not going against. If you want to try and hit them with your Slug Thrower and kill them with your Slug Thrower, then good luck, but it's not advised. So there you go, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to check out the links in the description. Become a patron, please. If you want to donate to PayPal directly, you can do that as well. Or just join the Discord. That link is there also. I'd like to thank my current patrons. Their names are on screen right now, so thank you guys. And of course, like always, we'll see you next time. Don't forget to vote for the next ship in the next overview. Bye-bye.